Day 16, 25 Days of Orville. What's this one about? Identity Part 1 and 2. So good, it needed its own day in the 25 days. Here we go. Okay, so the episode starts kind of harmlessly enough. We've got the kids who, BJ Tanner and Kai Wenner, who play the kids. I just love them. They're great. They're the one plays the young teen so well, and the other one plays the younger brother so well. Just continually adds to the fact that the casting and everything on the show is just amazing. So then we have the part where Isaac, of course, collapses, and they need to find out what's going on with him. So we figure out, okay, so we're gonna take him back to Kalon, even though no one's ever been there before. So we get there, and we find just tons of Kalon. We immediately notice that the Kalon that are on the planet are red highlights everywhere, and Isaac, of course, is blue. So we know there's something different about Isaac, and we find out that he was one of the first ones that were built by the predecessors, the creators of all of the Kalon. And the rest of them were built after that. So what happened? So we don't really get the question answered about how come he ended up being the last. What did they do with all the other ones? Was it part of the war that, maybe not so much a war, about what happened between the humans or whatever they were, the people that were there, and the Kalon machines, right? Did that war come down to the only one left was Isaac? Because that would kind of, I don't know if that would make sense, because then Isaac would be the one who was the progenitor who built all of the other machines. But I think somehow the other machines the red-eyed machines now may have destroyed most of the blue-eyed ones because maybe they were too sympathetic, which is what ends up happening, to Isaac later on in the rest of the episode. So we get the going away party and everything, and it's kind of okay, kind of slow going, okay, things are okay here, blah, blah, blah. And then we have Ty going down in the tunnel and finding the big, huge, gigantic piles of bones that are down there from the original progenitors, the people who created the Kalon. So this brings up a whole bunch of questions. To me, at this point, I would have said, let's pack our ship and get out of here right now, because whatever these people are doing is no good. So we can't do that. We got to go ask questions, which is fine. I'm okay with that. It's because that leads to the ship being overtaken, everybody being captured, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, we find out, of course, these things have guns that pop out of their head, which we had no idea before. That was like what? It's again, what's going on here? So the kids hide, everybody goes, and I do notice that all through while they're going through the ship and taking the ship over, everyone that gets shot and killed has a red shirt. Firmly tried and true homage to the original series. I loved that. So now we got everybody we're all flying off to the Earth, and I mean, just the ships here just taking off, all of these ships, everything pulling out and just floating up through the clouds and everything, just amazing, the effects, stuff, just this landscape and everything. And this coming up, I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is movie epic. This is like movie time epic. This isn't even TV show kind of epic. This is beyond that. This is movie epic. And then they start heading off. And then we get to the second episode where we're getting some jokes, here, like, don't go over there. That's the pee corner unless you have to pee. Go over there. There's no bathroom. So, because I always hated that there was never much of in all these shows that are on TV. It's like, where's the bathroom? Why doesn't anybody go to the bathroom? Why don't you have somebody just hearing the flush and flipping the light off, walking out of the bathroom? I mean, that would add so much realism to your TV shows. Hello. Okay, so we do a bunch of different events, that they've taken over the ship, and we've got red eyes and orange eyes. So they get past the part where they come upon another Union ship, and they give them the 13-button salute code. And we know what the Kalon, we know what that is. We've had Isaac here, and we're all connected, so he knows what's going on. So we know what that is, so we have to blow them up. And then we go to the airlock where they make their point and let the guy out of the airlock and kill him. So right now we know our stakes are high. We know things are serious. And up until this point, the other episodes of the show and everything are sometimes a little non-serious, or you're taking them, this is just a good fun sci-fi show, and then they get super serious here, but it all makes sense. It's not seriousness just for the sake of having something shocking on the show. It's like, this makes sense. This is where we've had a progression here in what's going on, and we are understanding at some point in a show like a sci-fi show, you need an ultimate alien that you go up against, like the Jem'Hadar, the Borg, things like that, or the shapeshifters, right? They were the ultimate kind of evil in the end of controlling so many different things. But so yes, we lose this crewman, and they continue the armada of ships and different things that go on. We have a couple different plots to get weapons, to get messages. Now we're taking the shuttle, sending it across space to go find the Krill, to be able to have them come and help. And I was surprised a little bit that they didn't. There was no retribution like before after the shuttle took off, but that's okay. They did send more people to guard them, I guess. Then we send the message, and everything gets, seemingly worse. Earth is going to be destroyed. The Krill are not understanding or believing what we're telling them. So now we finally get the other ship that comes in, and the Krill have to fight it and all that. And so now I guess we're thinking they're going to come and help. So now we have the biggest part where we see the turn in the whole thing is when Prime tells Isaac that he has to kill Ty. And after being on the ship for the whole time, Isaac has developed these relationships, and I think maybe because he was an original and not one of the newer models, that he had that maybe a sympathy, empathy kind of programming built into him, which is possibly why back on the Kalon there are no other blue-eyed ones, because they've removed them all because they may have this supposed sympathetic flaw. Okay, so he doesn't do it. He actually takes out the other ones in the room, and we're saved. Then he goes and sacrifices himself while the other Kalon. And I thought the only flaw here, I think, is it this easy to disable the Kalon? Send this pulse through the ship to, disable them. I mean, now that we have that knowledge, I guess if they ever board a ship, if in season 3 any of the Kalon ever board the ship, we'll just send an EM pulse to the through the ship, and it'll drop them all. But we'd lose Isaac again, so we need to have some way to protect Isaac and send the EM pulse through the ship to get rid of him. Okay, so I just thought that was a little bit simple, but it solved the problem of taking the ship back, and Isaac sacrificing himself, which was his noble gesture of the whole thing. Then we get all the crew back, and then it starts. Then the battle just the giant battle that starts over and over. The effects and everything that were in this battle. These are movie effects. I mean, these are complete movie time effects that were going on here. I mean, just all the explosions and everything else that are going on around here. I mean, they're just. I looked them up. I had to look them up. So there are 3 movie effects companies that I saw. One called Fuse FX, which looks like they've done the new Lost in Space. They work with Annabelle, different things. Here we go. We've got Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Orville, Castle Rock, a bunch of different ones. Prodigal Son, bunch of different ones. Mr. Robot. So, but definitely Orville is in their list. If we view all their clients, this is gonna go. I haven't gone to this page yet. Okay, so we got a ton of clients: BBC America, AMC, Fox, HBO, NBC, Sci-Fi, Hulu, lots of WB. So they've been doing Bad Robot, just tons and tons of clients. And tons of shows that everybody's watched, right? So, and here this is Crafty Apes, which was another one is based in Atlanta, New York, and Los Angeles. So if let's look at their TV section here, what they've done in television. Watchmen, Stranger Things, love Stranger Things, Star Trek Discovery, Orville. So we're using the same effects as Star Trek Discovery, but I think the Orville one is better. Although I really haven't watched much Star Trek Discovery after the first 3 episodes. I pretty much dropped it. Sleepy Hollow, I watched that show all the way through. So a lot of good ones. So then we also have this other one, Pixamondo. So they've done Game of Thrones, Midway. I just saw that a week or 2 ago, and loved that film. There's some history in my family with that a little bit, but they do things. The Mandalorian looks like they're working on lots of different things. So they're pulling, a lot of the good effects companies that are doing things that we know and that we've seen. Just an amazing scene of keeping track of, how long did it take to render this whole thing with all the objects and everything flying around and exploding and doing that whole entire sequence and all those effect shots. I mean, that must have been, just must have taken weeks to get all that, or even months to get all those scenes and everything shot and put together. Just amazing. And then we get in the end where Ed appeals to Admiral Halsey to keep Isaac on board the ship, and he's going to take responsibility for him. And then he says, "I'm ready," meaning, I think, at this point, he's now ready to really understand that he's the captain of the ship and that he's able to take command and all the other things that we've gone through in the previous episodes, the anxiety over the fact that Kelly helped him get the position and all of that and stuff is behind him. So he understands now what the stakes are and that he's got to move forward and that now he is the captain of the ship. And just really, really good. And then in the end, we have Dr. Finn and Isaac just doing this heartfelt discussion, about how his home, he's lost his home there, but I think his home is now going to be with the Orville and his family's going to be with the Orville. So just this arc of this show, these 2 episodes, just shows us, I think this gives us a glimpse. As we've said, since they're off of regular TV now and they're going full on Hulu, and production is going to take a long time, I think we're going to get this kind of episode. This is what's been rumored, is this kind of episodes, this kind of complexity, this kind of high-end special effects and storytelling and everything in season 3. And that's really exciting because this was just, I was going over this and I was starting to watch, to get, where am I going to, kind of jump through in the episode, right? What scenes and what clips I want to do, because I just kind of am scanning through, the episode here, and I ended up watching both of the episodes completely because I'm like, oh my god, this is just so good. It just keeps you so connected and so just completely into it, deep into the, you're absorbed right into it. You're just completely encompassed in the episode. And I mean, watching it, I need like a bigger TV. I need like a 75 or 85-inch TV so that I can sit about 6 feet away and just be completely surrounded by it and get some surround sound speakers put all around you. Oh my God! Oh, that would be. You'd feel like you were there. You'd feel like you'd be ducking anytime anyone was shooting. It would be just amazing. It was just so good. All right. Well, cat notwithstanding, the cat here was continually scratching and clawing. As I'm moving the mouse, it's like, no, don't, no, go there, no, go there. Yes, crazy cat. Despite that distraction, I was able to get through this show and be able to create this episode. So that is Identity Part 1 and 2. And I think by far and away, one of my favorite parts of, I mean, there's so many things in season 2 that just became just overly amazing. I mean, I touched on some of those in the last, in day 15, the happy refrain, lasting impressions, Blood of Patriots. I mean, the other ones from the other season, there's always something that really, and I think that's the thing about the Orville, is there's always an episode somewhere. Not every episode may touch you and really hit you, but it is hitting a certain percentage of people. And there's always going to be something during a season that really sticks to you, like Majority Rule. That's like an amazing episode. The statements and the things that it message that it brings forth, and lasting impressions. I think those two are my two, outside of Identity Part 1 and 2. I think those two are definitely my next favorites in the series. But anyway, what did you think about Identity? I know we've got a ways to go before the season 3 starts, and we're going to be doing a whole video about season 3 coming up. But this was day 16, Identity Part 1 and 2. And thank you for watching. And like, share, and subscribe for all of your smaller YouTube channels, because YouTube ignores us most of the time. So I do go live every once in a while. I may be going live on maybe Fridays or Saturdays, maybe Thursdays. I'm trying to pick a day when I'm going to start going live and doing things. I did Friday. Well, it was like Friday at like 1 a.m. after The Mandalorian. And did that episode really, really early. But anyway, so thanks for watching this one. Take care.